Hey coaches, Jason Goldberg here, speaker, trainer, coach, and your host here at the Master Circle, the world's first and only training platform designed to make you a masterful coach by giving you behind the scenes exclusive access to real life coaching demonstrations from some of the top coaches on the planet. And today, I want to give you some of the big ideas that came away from our last Master Circle interview with Rich Litvin. And for those of you who don't know who Rich Litvin is, which I'm pretty sure you probably do, he is the co-author of The Prosperous Coach, one of the greatest books, if not the greatest book, on building your coaching practice ever. And I was so grateful to have him be a part of this series. And we had so much goodness that happened as he coached Laura. He coached her around tapping into her intuition and into her inner wisdom, or tapping back into it to really help her grow her business and to feel like she was on the right path. And so in this 2-hour-long interview and coaching demonstration and debrief, because that's what we do here at the Master Circle, we don't just show you the coaching live where there's a powerful coaching demonstration. We then spend time at the end where myself and Rich actually go through what he did in the coaching so you can learn directly what it was he did, not as a prescription for how you should coach, but to give you some great ideas and some great possibilities and options for how you coach and to really see how it looks to be a powerful coach and for you to make that your own. Right? And Rich's song is I Gotta Be Me. That's his theme song. And I may or may not have gotten him to sing that in the beginning of the interview. You're going to have to see the interview to see if that really happened or not. But this is all about really finding out how to do things in your own way. And so I want to share with you 3 big ideas that came away from this interview. And there are tons of big ideas, from the interview we do with Rich in the beginning to the actual coaching demonstration to the debrief. There is tons, and I could do an hour-long video just on the things that I learned and I saw from Rich in this. But I'm going to just break down the top 3 for you that I think are tremendously impactful and that you can take today. You can take any one of these 3 big ideas that I'm going to share with you, or all 3 of them, and apply them directly to your coaching today. And I guarantee you, by applying these things, you will become a more masterful coach. All right, so you ready to go? Let's do it. Okay, big idea number 1 is this. How would you know? Right? How would you know is a fantastic question to ask our prospects or to ask our clients, because a lot of clients will come into a coaching session and they'll say, I want to be happier. I want to be more fulfilled. I want to have more joy. I want to have a better relationship. I want to have a better job. I want to have a successful business. All these really high level things that are great. They're wonderful. And there are a lot of things you're going to hear a lot of times. And that happened in this coaching demonstration where Laura talked about the things she wanted. And Rich slowed her down and asked her this very, very powerful, important question. How would you know? See, when we can slow our clients down and help them to get really clear about how they would know, what does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like? What do you see when you're more successful? What does it look like when you have a better relationship? What does your world look different? How does your world look differently? What's different in the world around you? The people you're around, the sights you see, the things you smell, the things you're doing on a normal basis. What's different when you're happier? How would you know? So if we can help them get more clear on how would they know, the observable sights and the sounds and the feelings and the desires, that helps us create a roadmap for both ourselves as the client and ourselves as the coach rather, and the client, to make sure that we're making progress towards that goal. So at a deeper level, this can also help to guide you where you want to go next, right? And something Rich is really big about is finding the goal behind the goal. So if somebody says, okay, I want to be happier, great. How would you know you're happier? And they tell you some of the things. Well, I'd be surrounded by these kinds of people. I'd be doing these kinds of things on a daily basis. They really start opening up and getting really clear about what it would look like to have this thing they're asking for. Then you can go to the goal behind the goal and ask them, why is that so important? How is that going to change the way they live their lives? What is that going to afford them if they have this thing, happiness, joy, better relationships, better job? How is that going to change their lives? And once you really know that, you know the why behind it, you know the importance of it, you know the fundamental thing that if you get some movement around that, everything else will start shifting in their lives, then the real magic of your coaching can begin. Okay, coaches, let's move on to big idea number 2 from the interview with Rich Litvin. And it's another really powerful question that Rich asked during the coaching demonstration that can help our clients get unstuck when they say they really want something, but they feel like they're being held back for some reason. And the question is this: what judgments do you have? Now, what judgments do you have is another powerful question, because sometimes when we have a gift or a strength or a desire, but we simultaneously believe something negative about actually having that gift or achieving that desired outcome, we may try to sabotage ourselves or put in some kind of block in place that keeps us stuck. So if we can help our clients get clear about any underlying beliefs or judgments about what it means to be that type of person or have that type of outcome, they can put their creative energy towards using their gifts or working towards that desire without the nagging story that tells them something debilitating. So an easy example of this is when people say they really want to make a big deal of money, like a great deal of money, but they have a judgment. And the judgment is that people with a lot of money are conceited, or they're power hungry, or they're unethical. See, if they truly believe that, then no matter how much they say they want to make a lot of money, they're not going to allow themselves to create it out of fear of becoming the exact person they dislike, the exact person they have judgments around. So once we help them to challenge the belief of what it means to be a person with money, once we can get clear on what judgment they have of people with money, then we can help them to focus their attention on creating the money without the negative backstory of what it may mean for them to be that kind of person. And this goes for anything. If any of our clients have a judgment about what it would mean about them, what they would think about themselves, or what people around them would think about them if they were able to achieve this, until we can get through that belief, question, inquire, and challenge that belief about what judgments they would have about themselves if they actually got this thing, that competing commitment is going to be too strong, and they're going to stay stuck and not have any movement on the thing that it is that they want to create. Okay, coaches, and last but not least, big idea number 3 is a really, really powerful one. Now, we all know Rich Litvin, or if you don't know, you'll know after this interview, that Rich is really into what he calls high flame coaching, right? And what he means when he says high flame coaching is really turning up the heat, right? Helping people lean into their edge, get uncomfortable, go to the places that maybe they're not comfortable going, but he knows that that's where the big shifts and the significant difference in people's lives really occur. But here is the big idea that came out of this coaching demonstration that I think is really, really important for coaches to know in order to be the most powerful version of themselves when they are doing this high flame coaching, when they're going deep and they're diving in deep into things that are really edgy and really uncomfortable, not just for the client, but also for you as the coach. This is going to be a really important big idea. And big idea number 3 is this: turn down the heat, okay? So as a coach who's gone deep with a client in a session, know when it's time to take them off the hot seat, to turn the flame back down, to really allow the work that you've done with them in this session to settle into their awareness. There's no benefit in going deeper and deeper and deeper when the client has already experienced a big shift and they now need time to process and allow it to become a part of their awareness. It's a much deeper service to your client to give them a break off the hot seat, to go kind of turn the flame back down to a lower level so they can breathe, right? So they can take a breath and say, wow, that was really powerful. And now I need to integrate this into who I'm being in the world. So as much as a powerful coach seems to be someone who just keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper, and you do as long as it's of service to your client, Rich did a fantastic job in this coaching demonstration of understanding, of seeing, of having the real sense, the real feeling when he was watching Laura. He was watching her body language. He was watching her vocal intonation, the words she chose, everything about her being he was watching, and he knew when it was time to take her off the hot seat. He knew when it was time to dial down the heat a little bit so that she could relax and she could really start integrating what it was that they had done in the session. And giving our clients the time and the space to do that, not feeling like we always have to go deeper and deeper, but really slowing ourselves down to say, based on the work that we've already done in this session, does it make sense to keep diving deeper? Is there something else that needs to be uncovered right now? Or is this the right time to slow things down and allow them to just process and integrate what we've already worked on into their being going forward? So there it is, coaches, your 3 big ideas from our Master Circle coaching demonstration with Rich Litvin. Again, big idea number 1, how would you know? Help them really get clear on what it is they want and how they would even know if they actually had it. Big idea number 2, what judgments do you have? Helping your clients figure out if they have some kind of competing commitment or some story, some underlying belief that would hold them back from getting the thing that they say they want in their world. And big idea number 3, turn down the heat. Know that if you've done a lot of deep work with a client in a session, sometimes it can be of even deeper service to turn down the heat and allow them to just integrate and process what you've talked about instead of continuing to dive deeper and deeper and deeper. Now, this is just scratching the surface of the amazing things that happen in this session. And if you've seen Rich before or heard of Rich or are a part of the Evercoach tribe or know anything about Rich at all, seeing him coach is really an amazing thing to really pick up on the nuances of the way he shows up as a person. And there's no way that I can tell you what that looks like. You really have to see it for yourself. So if you want to see this entire interview, this entire coaching demonstration, and the 5 pages of notes, my personal notes from me going through the interview, hosting the interview, watching the coaching, doing a debrief with Rich. This is not something I have an assistant do for me. I sit there and make a list, 5 pages of notes of my insights from this coaching demonstration that you can take and use and integrate and apply directly into your coaching practice. So if you want to get access to all of that stuff right now and get month after month after month access to interviews with some of the top coaches on the planet, go sign up for the Master Circle now. I cannot wait to see you on the other side, and I hope to see you soon. Take care, guys.